Guys, we've talked about this before, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it, that Donald Trump is at his endgame, and he is planning his final move to basically commit a coup against the American voter. Without hyperbole, Donald Trump is making one last gasp effort to steal the election from the American voters. He tweeted the following out just minutes ago. Big problems and discrepancies with mail-in ballots all over the USA must have final total on November 3rd. That's what Donald Trump is saying. Now, Twitter has marked that tweet basically false information because, again, there's no evidence there's any issues with mail-in voting or any voting in the USA. The system works and there is no voting fraud on any level that has any material effect. That's a lie. But Trump is saying it. And again, I've noted this before. Trump's goal in this election is to make sure your vote doesn't count unless he thinks on average you're one of his voters. You might not be a Trump voter, but if you fit the profile, he wants your vote counted. Or you might be a Trump voter who doesn't fit the voter profile, and he wants your vote excluded. And what he knows is that on average, mail-in voters are generally voting against him. They're voting for Joe Biden. And in person on the day of voters are mostly going to be for him. And so his goal is to delay mail-in votes getting to their counting stations, delaying them being counted, period, all in effect to argue that election results have to be in on the day of or 24 hours after polls have closed. So he is incentivized to slow count the ballots. He's incentivized to use the Postal Service to stop the arrival of ballots in time. He's incentivized to stop states like Nevada and Pennsylvania, which we talked about a couple days ago, from counting the ballots early so that all the advanced and mail-in votes actually do get counted on election day or in time for election day. This is all the president's doing and his cronies doing and his thugs doing and his Republican Party's doing. This is them. And if you don't think this could work, the Supreme Court minutes ago, Coney Barrett isn't even on the court yet, and they just ruled 5-3 to basically let Wisconsin block advanced votes from getting in and being counted if they come in after Election Day, even if they're postmarked as being mailed before Election Day, before the deadline. In essence, disenfranchising some of the mail-in voters, which again are disproportionately likely to be Biden voters. Not all of them will be, but most of them will be based on the info we have. And the Supreme Court of the United States, again, without Trump's crony pick, have made that decision. What won't they decide with Coney Barrett, potentially, her on the court, who's basically said the president is above the law? She's basically said that through her testimony. He can do what he wants. This is where we're at. There's only one thing that can stop this. Really, two things that can stop this. One, preemptively, there needs to be a decisive result against Donald Trump, such that not even the most sycophantic Republican judges and officials would work to help him commit a coup because the result is so clearly against him. That's the Bolivian path, where Arce won so big, not even the anti-democratic forces in Bolivia could muster a second coup, at least not immediately, because the people's will was crystal clear. That needs to happen. You need to go out and you need to vote to defeat Donald Trump. Like that's one thing that can be done. And if you feel, given your state's rules, given that your state may move to invalidate your mail-in ballot, and you feel safe doing so, I might recommend you go vote in person. Not because the mail-in system is unreliable or broken generally, but because Donald Trump might do everything to break it and make it unreliable. So if you can vote in person, I encourage you to do so. Vote as if you are a Trump voter, so Trump can't single out your vote to be shredded and excluded. And guys, we have to start talking about this. And I'm not being alarmist. If he commits the coup, and it looks like it's getting momentum, everything has to be on the table in terms of nonviolent resistance. If Trump tries to steal the election, and if you're in a union especially, but even if you're not, you have to consider participating in doing whatever you can to shut society down until your democratic rights are guaranteed and safeguarded. That's what's at stake right now. Without hyperbole. That's Trump's move. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's bluster from him and Republicans actually won't follow him along. We can only hope that's the case. But at least in some states, and Wisconsin is a swing state, a very important and closely fought swing state, him being able to use Supreme Court advantages to tweak the rules around the edges to shred some ballots could make the difference. Especially if Biden only wins by 3 or 4. Biden winning by 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 makes it a lot harder. Guys, you know me. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not. But Donald Trump wants to effectively end democracy as we know it, if that's what it takes for him to keep power. He cannot be allowed to win, and the margin cannot be allowed to be so close to give his coup attempt plausible deniability. This could be the death of American democracy. What are you going to do to stop that?